Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Grab a cold one, crank up the volume, and join the show. Welcome to NBNR Live. And here we go.
It's no block, no rock.
Fellas, everybody, a toast. Heavy brewing, a toast. Rest in peace, John Butler.
It's fitting that most of us wore black today.
Yeah, we hardly knew you.
We hardly knew you.
Good night, sweet prince.
We hardly knew you, but I'm not sure I wanted to know you much more.
Oh man. You know what? I got my plea because on Saturday I went on a little bit of a rant.
You?
Yeah. I was like, John Butler
Not good enough.
Needs to be fired. He is not good enough to be a defensive coordinator at Nebraska. And
I think you said maybe even power forward.
yeah, he's not good enough. And guess what? Matt Rhule, you cannot convince me. Put the fucking camera on.
It's on you.
It's already on you, brother.
Worry.
You cannot convince me, blocked or not, you cannot convince me that Matt Rhule does not subscribe and listen to No Block No Rock. Because just telling you.
Make yourself known, troll.
Yes. Listen here, Matt Rhule.
It's that guy in the chat.
Thank you.
The guy in the chat
Thank
whose
you.
name is not Matt Rhule.
Yeah. Totally not Matt Rhule. Matt Rhule definitely listens to No Block No Rock, and he heard our rants and our displeasures with John Butler, and he has graced us with a firing.
And he did what you all should do, which is all mash that like button.
Yeah. If you
Hit subscribe.
Yeah. If you are happy that John Butler just got fired as the defensive coordinator in Nebraska, mash the like button and hit the little bell. Ding, 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 ding. Subscribe.
Yeah, if you're happy, or if
I subscribe to that.
or if you're really sad too. If you're really sad, you can still hit the like button.
Or put a comment in the chat.
Yeah.
Why do you think John Butler should have been retained at Nebraska?
Can I make a pledge that for every $1 in super chats we get today, we will donate 5 cents to the next defensive coordinator salary.
Done.
We will help make that happen.
Done.
So again, Heavy Brewing, thank you for providing the libations for our toast.
Well, and
our celebration of life.
I did want to tell the beer that we are drinking today. If you
I got
could grab
you.
me that can.
Oh yeah.
Is this the right one? Yeah. So this one is Full Frontal Bill. It's a
I have
red
an uncle
wheat.
like that.
This beer is fantastic. It's new, and Jeff, the owner, I talked to him today, and he's like, I want you to have it now because I don't know what it's going to taste like in a week. So if you want to try this excellent beer that we're drinking right now, it's a red wheat. Go into their tap room in Gretna, Nebraska. They have tons of beers on tap, and next week they'll have like 4 or 5 different new beers that are coming on tap. So it sounds like it's about to change, and they're going to shift more into their fall type of stuff. They also are going to be doing some watch parties and stuff like that for Nebraska volleyball. So a team that actually wins and is really good. If you like craft beer, really good food, and a fun environment, go check out Heavy Brewing, guys. They're going to have the game this weekend.
Mhm.
Watch the girls kick some ass.
Watch the volleyball team be a bunch of killers.
100%.
Hey,
Yeah.
Does that beer taste as good as your uncle?
You guys Connor that. He said,
Oh, I know. I'm looking at Connor right now.
So I'm
You don't
also going full frontal today. The beer.
Yeah, the beer. Yeah,
I'm just
thank you.
ignoring that one. I don't want to. I signed a settlement. So
Hey, did you sign a gag order? Kyle, what beer do you
got?
I'm the only one not drinking whatever that is. I'm drinking Rippin' Heaters.
No, you are ripping haters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it's good. I need like a go-to beer for me, and it sounds like Jeff is teetering with the idea that this is going to stick around like year long.
Yeah,
it's a great beer
because this is. Yeah, I walk in and I'm like, yeah, just give me the Rippin' Heaters. I had about way too many of them when we did our live show there the other weekend. So yeah, real good.
It's like a fruitier lager.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
It's good.
Easy drinking.
It's got John Daly on the picture, but it's got the heavy brewing monkey on his face. So it's kind of funny. It's that like famous gif or meme or whatever. It's like him like with the cigarette.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. Heavy Brewing, thank you for providing the beers and being an excellent sponsor for us. We appreciate you. So we wanted to make today's episode a big picture type of episode, right?
Yes.
And one of the, I guess, building blocks of that kind of dropped today with John Butler's firing.
Thank God.
And Mike says, thank God.
Yeah.
Is there anyone here that is not on board with this or is questioning it?
No, I'm not like questioning it. Well, I just have some general questions that I don't think I totally understand. So like, if you look at the national rankings for total defense, Nebraska ended up being ranked
top
23.
23.
Yeah. I think you said that earlier.
So I want to know, like, the eye test does not lie to you while you're sitting on your couch in Iowa, Penn State, Minnesota are just obliterating you.
Right.
So I just want to know, like, where does the scale get skewed when you're looking at a top 25 defense? How did that get skewed so bad that now we're sitting here like, yeah, we just fired our DC because it was atrocious. I just want to know like what that factors in.
I think again it comes down to, you look at Nebraska over the season had, I can't give you the specific statistics off the top of my head,
right?
But had decent points per game, decent yards per game. But I think again with this defensive stat, it was kind of skewed in that those Akron and Houston Christian games, like those were just such ass whoopings, such statistical anomalies that in some of your closer games, it's still over the course of a season kind of weighs things in a way that looks really nice. So sure, to say we're top 23 in the nation, like you said, Kyle, the eye test against a Penn State, against a Minnesota, against an Iowa, that was really what that defense was. And it's what it always was. That were just against far lesser opponents. It looked a lot better. I mean, we were sitting here on Saturday talking about how Tony White down at Florida State has still done a good job because he's a top 30 defense. But when you look at that Florida State schedule and what they've done against teams that are, pretty darn good, that I think is a bigger like Flowers moment than Nebraska being a top 23 with Butler.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, and this is not me saying we should not have fired him. It's tough because you'd want to, like, for me, want to see what year 2 looks like. And like, could he have gotten better? Because again, we talked all season about how this D-line, the entire team is young, youngest team in the Big Ten, if I remember correctly, youngest team in the Big Ten, that D-line was undersized. Like, what would year 2 look like with Butler? I don't know. I still agree with the firing, but there's a lot of questions that we will never get the answer to.
The last 2 games, I mean, that was the final 2 nails in the coffin.
Yes.
Where, yeah, you definitely saw signs against Cincinnati.
Well, we said all year against everybody. It was like, hey, if they would have just committed to the run,
yes,
then Nebraska loses.
Yes.
If they just, instead of like flip, it seems like everything was flipped. It was like these opponents for some reason are just going away from whatever was working for them, which was running the ball, and they're trying to get cute with it, and then Nebraska ends up winning.
Yes,
dude.
Cincinnati, USC, all those games were like, thank you,
yeah,
thank you for throwing the ball
during week 1. We're like, hey, Scott Satterfield, thank you for throwing that ball with Sorsby and just launching it up there, into our strength. And like, we can even get into like the pass defense being a strength, but also the point of, well, yeah, teams aren't really passing that often because they're just running on you.
Right.
Right. But then occasionally they would get away from it and be like, thank you, Lincoln Riley, for passing for some reason. And so, yeah, it's those last 2 games were definitely just the sour taste in the mouth and the death knell of John Butler.
Yeah, you just can't figure out throughout a 12-game season. You know, like even the O-line, you could point to the O-line and be like, hey, they had progress by the end of the year, right? Tell me where the defense had progress. Because we said every week, well, we're not a good run defense. We got to get better. We're going to get better. We're going to really sell the run, all these things. And John Butler maybe just told you to your face last week that he wasn't going to be the DC because he was very honest. He's like, we don't have the right guys. They're all young and this and that. And I don't know if those are excuses or what, but he was very honest. And in my opinion, if you're a good DC, you can make chicken salad out of chicken shit.
Sure.
And John Butler is not a good DC because we ranked 95th in the country in rush defense. And if you watch those last 2 games, absolutely pathetic.
Yeah.
Absolutely pathetic. The 2 teams that literally told you they were going to run the ball and you allowed 200 plus yards on each game. Like, what are we doing?
They bent you over.
It's terrible.
Now imagine, like, with this schedule that, again, we've talked about was the nicest schedule you're going to be gifted for a little bit.
Yes.
Imagine if we had a schedule like what we're looking at next year.
Yeah.
With this defense, that 95 turns into like a 120 very quickly. It's very, very quickly.
It's bad.
Yeah, you can never, consistently get pressure on the quarterback. You very rarely caused havoc
Never
for the offense. And that was kind of the talking point going into this year was John Butler's going to be more aggressive, right? He's going to send more blitzes. They're going to be moving around, flying around. And one of the major differences that you noticed comparing Rhule's year 1 defense compared to this past defense was they're slow. The tackling is ass.
bad.
The tackling got worse under new leadership. And yeah, you can point to they didn't have the horses, and it's Rex Guthrie and it's Shavers with a cast on his arm. All things that a program that is just making excuses will say.
Right.
I think honestly, we're at a point, and I think Mike really nailed this home. You just aren't good enough. And so let's recognize it instead of
Rip the Band-Aid off.
But didn't you see? No, John Butler's not good enough.
No.
Let's recognize that Matt Rhule, he made a mistake by hiring him. And it's very telling that he just cans him right after the last game. That tells me right away, he's like, oh, I fucked up. And we can give credit to, hey, I'm glad Matt Rhule tore the Band-Aid off and fired him. While also saying, you fucked up by doing that in the first place. So let's give some credit for him having the quick, hook. But you also made the hire.
Yeah.
And we question, come on. Didn't we sit here and we're like, what?
Well, he hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah.
Kind of underwhelming.
It just seemed like the easy thing to do. And I don't know if he's like his buddy. Probably not.
No, I don't think he actually was.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, you might not like him anymore.
So I think for one thing, there has to be a short leash for a DC at Nebraska. My Lord, we call ourselves the black shirts, built around that defense. If that is not held to the highest standard, who the hell are we supposed to be? And my second point of this is outside of Mike Eckler, has there been a hire from Matt Rhule that has really stuck out to you? I mean, jury's out on Holgerson. I have no idea there.
Holgerson is a shoulder shrug. Mostly this.
Well, and I think Dana might.
Right now, yeah.
Dana might be on his way out too. Who knows?
Yeah. But aside from Mike Eckler, I mean, we again talked about this on Saturdays. Is it also getting Butler out is something that we wanted?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that. I feel like I'm almost now more on edge about can Matt Rhule make the right decision now? Because he has proven time and again that he's either not able to, or he's just simply not looking in the right spots. It makes me a little bit more on edge. This uncertainty with his hiring process scares me a little bit.
Well, and you mentioned Mike Eckler, right?
Mhm.
I think hiring Mike Eckler may have influenced this firing, to be honest, because do you see how bad we were at special teams last year and how we were able to flip it just like that, right?
Mhm.
A good coordinator, an elite coordinator can do that because they're good at their job. John Butler has never been a full-time DC. He's been an interim DC before this at Penn State. He didn't get hired for a reason. He didn't get hired as a DC in the NFL for a reason.
Right.
Why does Nebraska have to be your make-a-wish opportunity? Right? Go get a guy who's done it before. And I'm sorry, right? Matt Rhule brings in Phil Snow. And how much influence does Phil Snow have on this, right? Now he's our interim DC. I swear to God, if Matt Rhule hires Phil Snow as his DC,
What?
Simply can't.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know yet.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm going to write a strongly worded email to Matt Rhule. I don't know. Like, seriously, you hired Phil Snow, right? To help John Butler transition him to becoming his first DC job, right? And it got worse throughout the year. It was ass. So Phil Snow, he's got to go. Whoever this DC is, you would think, and this is why I think Dana hasn't worked either. When you hire a coordinator, these coordinators, they usually have the full reins to go hire whoever they want to be their assistants. Well, they hired Dana in the middle of the season, and Dana retained everybody that Matt Rhule mistakenly hired to begin with.
Well, to kill shorts.
To kill shorts.
And I think that's the only, if you look at the wide receiver blocking this year, it's been elite. The only guy that he got to hire has been fantastic, but he retained all the other dummies that Matt Rhule hired. And that's what I'm worried about with this John Butler thing too. All the guys that are on staff, and I'm not saying Rob Dvorak's a bad coach. I think Addison, I think he did a good job. I think he did a good job.
Sure.
But it's one of those things like you go hire a big time DC that will bring in his staff, bring in his guys. Get the clown show out of here.
Now, Mike,
they're not good enough.
Mike, you bring up that, Butler had never had a full-time DC job. Hadn't done it in college, hadn't done it in the NFL.
Right.
But there is a guy that we've talked about a lot today that has both of those things checked. How excited would you guys be?
Oh boy.
Like The Price is Right. Jim Leonard, come on down.
Please.
You're the next contestant on Can You Fix Nebraska?
And the funny thing is like we talked about Eckler, and from stories that we've heard is he had to be talked into,
Which is crazy.
right? And what if he has to be talked into Jim Leonard, who would be another probably elite
An
hire.
obvious hire, like because Mike Eckler was obvious.
Yep.
Jim Leonard would also be obvious, and Matt Rhule doesn't want to do obvious. He wants to be cute.
Jim Leonard is a god tier hire.
It
Like
would
that's a god tier hire.
I
right?
think
For right now.
That would be universal.
I would be nervous about Jim Leonard though, because
Okay.
I don't think the Fickle experience is going to work after next year, even though we're retaining him for some stupid reason. And I think Jim Leonard would be on a fast track straight to Wisconsin, be the head coach. So,
You don't think that relationship?
but I don't
is
really
soured?
care. No, I don't think so. He played there, right?
Listen, distance makes the heart grow.
Yeah.
Fucker, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be a short-term thing, but like I
Yeah.
said, elite coordinators can fix things very quickly.
And so I guess, I don't know, another question that pops into my mind is like, how many DCs out there? And if we are big boy and we can money whip, a DC into coming here, are you kind of a little hesitant because after all, it is Matt Rhule, the head coach? Like, is there an elite DC out there that's like, I would go there, but I'm just not sure about the Matt Rhule fella. That's kind of that's where I because you guys know full well I've been a Rhule skeptic. And so yeah, that's kind of the angle I'm coming at with is like, if we're going to money whip in an elite DC, are they going to want to work under Matt Rhule?
I think there's weight to that, but I also think Mike, can you breathe?
He's done this 3 episodes in a row.
It's so funny.
Is there a DC that wants to be associated with the head coach that does this?
Kyle, you're quiet over there. Give us something. Give us something. We got some good comments in the chat. Are people enjoying themselves?
They are enjoying themselves.
Good.
By calling us stupid. Not quite.
No, what was the question though?
Well, just the DC that we might want because we are supposedly big boy and we can hire a very good DC. Might they be a little hesitant to work for Matt Rhule?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think some people, the good thing about Matt Rhule is he's like a salesman. He can talk. He's got great relationships with people.
Mhm.
No, I think people would love to work with Matt Rhule. Maybe we'll see what the result looks like working with Matt Rhule, but I think he's got a very good reputation across both the NFL and college football as far as like relationships with coaches and all that stuff.
Sure.
So I think there's weight to the argument that there might be some sort of hesitation coming in Nebraska right now. But one thing that Matt Rhule has talked about and harped about a lot recently since his extension is that we now have not only NIL money, but we got a lot of money. Like we're out there to compete with the big boys.
Mhm.
And so I made this comment earlier today that if we want to talk about this, we gotta walk the walk. Like I want articles written about the absurd and maybe at times inappropriate amount of money that we are spending to transform this program. If we want to talk about we got this money, we're going to be a big boy. It's time to shell out the big boy bucks and go get those big boy hires. We talked about this for seasons now. Big boy programs make what?
Big boy hires.
Big boy hires. Spend the money, go get an elite hire.
And look, there's not one coach in the country at this point, especially in the landscape of college football,
Right,
that doesn't understand that if you don't perform in year one,
bye.
there's a pretty good likelihood that you are going to be on a very hot seat and it's going to get uncomfortable and people are going to be calling for your head. Like that's just the way. I mean, that's how it's always been.
Right.
But now even more so, just under the microscope of like a Kurt Signetti going to Indiana and turning that thing around and going to the playoffs first year and like
He ruined it for everyone.
yeah.
And I guess my question, yes, it stems from my skepticism of Rhule. 2-10 in November.
So bad. So bad.
Well, I just I think he's got a reputation of being an excellent relationship builder. But then, dude, the game days happen. Then games get played. And Matt Rhule is not a good game day coach.
No.
And so, yeah, as a DC and as an OC, you might be drawing up excellent plays and stuff, but isn't there just kind of an inkling of doubt because he's on the sideline?
I don't know, because he's a CEO. So, he should be out of their business, letting them do their jobs.
Right.
Where other places, maybe you aren't. Like, this isn't Bo Pelini, and it's plug and play for his DC. Like, Nebraska fans are used to getting new coordinators all the time because that happened under even good teams. We would constantly go through new coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
But you had the Bo Pelini that was pretty much calling the defense through somebody else.
Yeah.
This is different. This is CEO. This is OC, you do your job. Dana, I trust my life with Dana, right? He never said he trusted his life with John Butler.
Yeah. So there's my point. And I take more of the thought process that, this is more of a CEO mentality.
Yeah.
Because I really don't think that firing John Butler would happen if Matt Rhule felt like he was somewhat to blame.
Yeah.
If it was like, hey, I know I've been telling you what to call and now you're really sucking it up. I can't fire you because it's me telling you what to do. And instead, I would imagine there's a lot of times down on the sidelines like, hey, John, what are we doing?
Right.
What are you calling right now? Why is there a 3-man front on the 5-yard line?
Ooh,
so bad.
What's going on here? Right. So if it was so if he was so enthralled in the defensive side of things, I would imagine that this news doesn't come out today because then Matt Rhule would feel like, I'm just basically firing you because you're a scapegoat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Kyle, you mentioned a coordinator anymore. We need to see progress in year one. We talked about how this defense, the entire team is young. The defensive line is undersized. Kyle, do you think that whoever the next DC is might have a little bit longer of a leash because of how much they're going to have to develop on this D-line? Or is this going to be something that Nebraska really targets in the portal?
Let me tell you this. I strongly believe that whatever this next hire is for DC, they go down with Matt Rhule.
Yeah, thank you. I was going to say the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Is this a make or break year?
Look, Matt Rhule, for all the credit that I can give him has seemingly learned year after year after year. So first year, it's like, okay, yeah, Marcus Satterfield doesn't work out. Well, you know, so he gets to his second year, and then he brings in Dana. And he seems like he's learning, and he's picking up these new coordinators. Special teams was atrocious. Let me go find the best special teams coordinator I can find. So he does that. Pulls in Dana because the offensive coordinator was bad. Tony White leaves, so he has to go pick up John Butler. That doesn't work. Sends him packing. It just seems like there's this like big learning. And I would be more critical of Matt Rhule at this point in time if he was not doing that. Everybody talks about his track record with coordinators. Mind you, he did hire them.
Yes.
But this is his first time at like a huge program, a blue blood program, and in the Big Ten against some of the best coaches in the college football world. And he's learning every year, and he's picking up pieces that he's like, okay, yeah, this needs to get better. This needs to get better. This is one of those situations, and we're going to talk big picture.
Yeah.
This is one of those situations where I don't mind saying right now that this does actually take a little bit of time for Nebraska. Maybe not Kurt Cignetti at Indiana. Maybe not. But at Nebraska, at our current juncture, at least he's learning, and he's picking up pieces that have improved the team. And I'll point to some of the biggest issues that Nebraska has had in the last 10 years: turnovers, penalties. These things are improving. That is progress, right? So, it's just some of these bigger picture stuff, like how to run a defense, how to run an offense. These are things that I think Matt Rhule is learning and just kind of getting a little bit better as we go.
Yes, you're right. Okay. I do appreciate that it's not like Bill Callahan going down on the Cosgrove ship.
No,
Because
he's
he
not.
died on the Cosgrove Hill, and that's ultimately what led to his unraveling here. But so you bring up a good point, okay? Special teams got better. Penalties seem to be better. I don't know the stats. It seemed like turnovers got better, okay?
Those are like fundamental football things that have all gotten better.
Now, here's where the skeptic in me kind of arises. It's like those things got better, but at the same time, other things on the team got worse.
Getting worse. Yeah.
And so I'm just worried that, like, this year it's this, next year it's this, and it's just a constant, like, it's like this because ultimately the head guy just isn't
Good enough.
good enough.
Yeah.
And again, when I say good enough, I don't mean winning natties. Stop that. I'm not even close to that expectation, but just like competing and showing up against teams that have an identity, that are comfortable with who they are. Matt Rhule, I'm afraid, is not comfortable with who he is and doesn't have an identity. And maybe this offseason he changes that. We find something that we want to be and we stick with it.
Yeah.
Let's run the 3-3-5. Fine.
Get the best 3-3-5
exactly.
coach ever.
So do the 3-3-5 then. Get the players you need and commit to it. That's all. And so that's where my concern is. Like, those things did get better, but at the same time, we're sitting here at the end of year 3 going, was there progress? Really? I mean,
Yeah, and we'll get into like the whole like progress discussion, because our good pal Coach BA did hook us up with some homework.
Yeah. His homework
this weekend.
He did all the homework, and we're going to cheat on that test.
Yeah,
We're going to use his homework.
Yeah,
he gave us homework, but did he give us any super chats? That's the real question.
He's sitting waiting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think looking at in 3 years where we started with Jeff Sims, who, by the way, was brought in by Marcus Satterfield and Matt Rhule.
Indeed.
Where we started with the fumbles and the interceptions and just some of the basic fundamentals, the seemingly worst penalties at the worst moments of every game. It just seems like that stuff has gotten better. We talked about Iowa. Ja'Cory Barney muffs that punt for the first time all year. Like, just, of course, because against Iowa. But those are just like little fundamental things that, like, if you can get that stuff out of the way and you get the right pieces in place, Mike Eckler, hopefully Dana, hopefully a all-time DC coming up. Like, who knows?
I think the reason that John Butler got fired, I think the next year's schedule plays into that. If we had a schedule like we did this year on the horizon, I don't think he gets fired.
Really?
But I think it is such an important year for Matt Rhule that he knows that John Butler isn't good enough. And you see the schedule coming up, and you have no choice. And it might be the same on the opposite side of the ball too, because we'll get into those numbers that BA gave us. You have no choice. If you want to be CEO and you want to win games at Nebraska, you know it's not good enough. Matt Rhule looked himself in the mirror and he said, it's not good enough. And that's why he fired John Butler today. He looked at everything, big picture. He didn't just look at Iowa and Penn State. No, he looked at the entire year, and he looked at it and said, John Butler is not good enough.
And some of the things that he's looking at are like schemes, and
Everything
that is coached, right? If Matt Rhule found himself throughout the year just getting frustrated as shit on the sidelines, like, why are we running that? Why are we doing this?
Yes.
Why are we doing that? That is how you get to this point.
And I think the most telling thing is John Butler after Minnesota, when he, like I said, you say what you want about John Butler. The dude was so honest. He would look you in the camera, look you in the face, and tell you exactly how he felt and what he did wrong and everything else. He was the elite guy at pointing the thumb. But John Butler, after Minnesota, he admitted that he wasn't aggressive enough. That he didn't, they had a game plan to be super aggressive and blitz here and blitz there. And after the first drive, he just got scared. I'm sorry, big time defensive coordinators, they don't get scared. They're onto a next play mentality. John Butler didn't have that. It seemed like that game just carried over to so many games. And I don't think he knew how to call the defense by the end of the year.
Well, because you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So
and you still don't.
Elite coordinators and elite teams, whether it's, an offensive coordinator, DC, whatever, have the ability to be fluid, but they're fluid with a purpose. And we saw Butler was he loved the 3-man front. He called 4-man fronts too.
5-man sometimes.
Yeah, 5-man sometimes.
Shit, I think 1-man sometimes.
Yeah.
Just the other guys didn't show up.
Zero man.
But he was fluid to, it seemed like out of confusion. And it was never really done with a purpose. And frankly, I think we've seen that with Dana Holgorsen as well. On certain games where, especially Minnesota, where we're this is an EJ revenge game. EJ matches up against this Minnesota team really well. And what did he have, 13 carries, 14 carries in that game? Totally underutilized. We were a fluid team, but we were not good enough to be fluid. We didn't have that identity, and we were searching for it all year long. And EJ did have, God, that Iowa game was beautiful. We had those moments where it felt like, holy shit, we figured something out. And the Iowa game is kind of an anomaly because for the most part, we did stick with him. But it would seem like when you got something going and you found that identity for this specific game, because Jared,
every game's a vacuum.
Yep. But you would find something that was working and you would immediately switch off of it.
But nothing worked on defense.
Yeah.
You talk about identity. Nebraska, what was Nebraska's identity on defense?
Shit.
They could stop the pass. That's because teams didn't want to pass the ball on you because they knew they could get 8 yards of carry.
Okay.
Right?
I would posit each game a vacuum. USC against the number 1 passing offense in the country, that passing game was shut down.
Well, yeah, it was shut down, but they ran for over 200 yards.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Why pass the ball if you know you can get 7 yards of carry?
And so this is where I talk about good teams being able to be fluid. You play the number 1 passing offense in the country, and they ran the ball down your throat all goddamn day.
Yeah.
Because they could, and they knew they could do it, and they knew they could win doing that.
Yeah.
That's how they switched. We had games where holy shit, their rushing defense isn't that great. Let's just feed EJ all day. And then we just didn't. It made no sense. We were fluid for all of the wrong reasons.
And yeah, I bring up 3-3-5. Caveat is there a true 3-3-5?
No.
You're
Not
always
really.
you're always changing things. You're changing things from play to play sometimes. But my point is let's just say you went to a 3-3-5 or you went to a 4-3. Again, be that. Okay? Because my issue is if you're going to run a 3-3-5, what do you ultimately need at the end of the day to be a good 3-3-5 defense? You need to have a what?
A nose tackle?
A fucking monster.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you're going to be a 3-3-5 team, you need to develop monsters. You need to have monsters behind the monsters. So when a Ty and a Nash leave, you're not just standing there like the fucking Fresh Prince, right? He's in the
in the room.
Be that
It's a sad
then.
scene, buddy. You didn't go, It was a sad scene.
Why don't you want me, man?
Why don't you want me? and fans and
That's
families
what
gone.
John Butler said when he was. What did you want me, man?
I can tell you why.
Like my point is like if you're gonna be 3-3-5, fucking be it. Get you a guy that clogs everything up. Okay,
We need
Then
pot roast.
Have other guys that clog things up. So, oh my gosh, we had one of our seniors leave. Yeah, that happens. So be ready for that.
Mhm.
Be someone like die on your feet. Die knowing who you are. Die. We're gonna die if we die, right? Pep, 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 pep. Be someone. I think we talk a lot about defense. Do we? What's this homework?
You want to go
'Cause-
big picture, Kyle? Do you want to read BA's research?
I haven't seen this,
Yes.
You didn't read the group chat.
What?
You're in the group chat.
dude. I'm in a lot of group chats.
It's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook, yeah.
Oh, Facebook.
How many group chats do you on Facebook? Not very many. One.
To be fair, I rarely check my Facebook Messenger. I happened to be online last night and I saw the message pop.
Yeah.
And it was like incoming. And then dude, he gave us so many stats to break down.
And I think the stats are the reason why that's another reason why John Butler got fired. You look at progress, and Kyle's gonna get into him, but it's like there's not much. And honestly, the offense is not any better from Satterfield to Holgerson.
No.
But to Kyle's point, what was, in my opinion, really important was the fundamental shit.
Right.
Did improve. The extraneous stuff, yes, I do agree, took a little bit of a downturn. But if you can build the fundamentals up and have the fundamentals down, like no penalties, turnovers are getting better. Well, not no penalties, but less penalties. Turnover ratio is getting better.
Good special teams.
Yeah, good special.
Good bones.
Those, yeah, it's like building a house, baby. Put the foundation in.
Okay. BA, if you would like to claim some credit here in the chat, I'll put your name up here for
Your
everybody
handle.
to see. Yeah.
Yeah, tag it. He's got a podcast too.
Take a bow.
This isn't going to be
Austin
boring,
Powers.
is it?
No. I'll
Okay.
go through this quick.
No, it's very good.
Okay. So Coach BA, he went through and he just kind of compared like last year's wins, losses compared to this year's wins, losses, and they equal out to be pretty close. Beating UTEP in 2024 becomes beating Akron in 2025. Both group of 5 teams, both bottom tier programs. Beating a 9-win Colorado team in 2024 becomes beating a 7-win Cincinnati team. Both Big 12 opponents, but the equality of win arguably decreased. Northern Iowa at 3 wins becomes Houston Christian at 2. A 1-win Purdue team becomes a 4-win Michigan State team, which I will take a win over Michigan State at 4 wins over Purdue at 1. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
And then struggling Big Ten opponent, Rutgers at 7 wins becomes Northwestern at 6. Wisconsin at 5 wins becomes Maryland at 4. So that is just to kind of set the preference here. Let me get your name up. Okay. So
Get into the compare the offensive numbers, defensive numbers from 24 to 25.
Yeah. Okay. So point averages on offense. So total scoring per game rose from 23.8 to 29.25, but it's inflated because of Akron and Houston Christian.
Yeah. So go to the Big Ten.
So if you
68 to 0.
take those out and just look at the wins in the Big Ten, the number shifts from 20.44 to 22.67, which is just a 2-point jump from 2024.
2-point jump with Dana as your OC.
Yes. With what we said was like, hey, he's going to have a full year, a full off season to go through and, do his thing. Not just like walk in at the end of the season and be like, here, do it. Right. Okay. So now the averages of Nebraska's losses in 2024 across 6 losses, Nebraska averaged 16 points scored and 29 allowed. In 2025, across 5 losses, Nebraska averaged 15 scored and 30 allowed. So offensive scoring in losses dropped. Defensive scoring allowed in losses increased. So when the team this is his conclusion, when the team faced equal or better competition, its performance moved backwards rather than forward. So theoretically and technically, according to the statistician Ben Audi.
Close enough.
Sorry. Like a third of us can't even read here, and I'm trying to read off stats.
Say stat guy.
Big stat guy. Huge stat guy.
There was not progress.
Yeah, because just like with past Nebraska teams, well, not even past Nebraska teams, because you would lose to teams that you're supposed to beat. But when it came to meeting the moment, yeah, you didn't rise to the occasion.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm having a tough time sitting here. It's year 3. at the end of year 3, Matt Rhule. And the fact that we even have to ask the question is right there. Isn't that enough of a clue to you that maybe
there wasn't any progress,
or at least not to the extent?
Well, special
we were
teams
sold
was progress, but special teams had to make up for all the other shit that you got worse at. Special teams got better, and the defense got worse. So it was almost a wash. And I'm sorry, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that hiring Dennis Holgerson as your OC full time, it's gonna give you 2 more points per game in the Big Ten, I would have told you to fuck off and hire somebody else.
Especially since
that's like a kick in the nuts. Hey, Satterfield's terrible. He should be fired, right? He should be fired.
He's the worst OC of all time.
We're going to hire Dana Holgerson and have a 2-point increase. And people are like, no, Dana.
And Dana's the best OC of all time. The
God.
best.
Do you want to know, like, the biggest double-edged sword here is we have to, and Kyle, we talked about it. You talked about it. Is that we talk about our stats are skewed in a positive manner by games like Akron and Houston Christian.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other edge of that sword, we have to sit here and talk about our stats were skewed by games like Penn State and Iowa. I know which side of that blade cuts deeper. And it's the fact that we have to sit here and talk about, like, oh, well, maybe the stats would have looked better if we didn't get our shit kicked in 2 weeks in a row.
You allowed that to happen.
You did.
The staff allowed it to happen.
And so, like, while I really want to say, like, oh, stats are skewed, we did get our shit kicked in. Like, I'm not going to say, and I think BA suggested there was regression year over year. I think, the weather's been snowy here in Omaha recently.
Mm.
When I drove to the studio on Saturday, my tires were spinning a little bit. I wasn't really moving.
Ooh, I see where you're going here.
And I think that's where Nebraska is year over year, is those tires were just kind of spinning. Maybe this DC hire gets us a little bit of traction and we get moving in the right direction. But I'm positive on the outlook. But I don't know. Like, again, spinning tires, I might slide back down that hill. I might gain some traction and move forward. I don't know. I want to have a positive outlook, but there's nothing right now to suggest to me at this current moment that we have moved forward.
I guess a narrative that's kind of popped up as of late, especially in terms of Holgerson and how the offense has been stagnant and boring. A narrative that's kind of popped up is he kind of has handcuffs placed on him by Matt Rhule. To which I say, like, if you're Dana, why would you commit to coming here if you knew that Rhule would be putting handcuffs on you? So, I don't know. That's a thing that people have been saying is, like, Dana's running Satterfield's offense and Matt Rhule's putting handcuffs on him so Dana can't unleash. To which I would say, I don't believe it.
Matt Rhule, CEO, right? Matt Rhule hasn't been an OC. He's not an OC. He hired Dana to teach him things he's never learned before. So why would he be handcuffing Dana, especially with the way the offenses look this year? He's not handcuffing anything. Dana doesn't know how to coach in this conference.
I think on the conversation of progress, regression, wheels spinning,
stuck in the mud,
I feel like Nebraska, I lean more heavily on the just like hasn't moved.
Yeah.
They've not moved back. They've not moved forward.
I agree.
There is a difference here where you can find some positivity. And I'll say that we've already mentioned the youngest team in the Big Ten. If we came out and we tried to use the youngest team in the Big Ten as the reason why you only won 3 games this year, I'd be pissed. Like that sucks. If we're saying, hey, look, it doesn't seem like we progressed all that much and we got our asses beat because we're the youngest team in the Big Ten, I can accept as begrudgingly as I watched Minnesota and Penn State and Iowa. I can accept kids getting their ass beat by a bunch of dudes at Iowa, Penn State. Minnesota still just pisses me off, but I don't know. I feel like if we're in the same spot with an excuse that we probably would have used if we won 3 games, like that's where we're at. And I don't hate it.
So if you're a fan and you're sitting here and you're kind of justifying this stagnation, it feels like stuck in the mud, right?
Mhm.
You don't really know. And it's because this defense has a lot of young guys on it. And they had to get on the field. They had to get their ass kicked and they had to learn, right? Throw the bullets at them, see how they do.
They're all dead.
Well, look,
They caught him just
Okay.
with their chest.
so what you're doing is you're betting on, Rex Guthrie getting better. You're betting on Riley Van Poppel
Don't.
getting better. Keona Davis getting better. Williams Winery getting better. And so
Dawson Merritt.
So my question is, they get these bullets thrown at them, fired at them. They got hit a few times. Koosh, right? Is it for the better? Is it going to make for a brighter future? To which I would say, no.
Well,
They're not good enough.
I would posit.
They're not. That's me. They're not good enough. That's my opinion. Maybe you have a different one.
I would posit that 50 Cent got shot 9 times and then dropped one of the hardest albums of all time.
Hey, preach, brother.
Yeah, like
Many men.
sometimes taking those bullets. Maybe that is kind of a motivation for this defense. Whoever we're in the holiday season now. The plans to enter the portal season. The guys that stick around, being that young, being undersized, getting dog walked. Maybe that motivates them to get in and say, look, I don't want this discussion, because they listen. They don't want this studio to be talking about this same conversation next year. Maybe that does motivate them, getting their shit kicked in week after week.
Well,
I hope it does.
You know what gives me hope? You know what, Kyle? I might be with you a little bit here, okay? Because ultimately what you've done today is you have gotten rid of one not good defensive coordinator.
Right.
You're going to replace him with a defensive coordinator that is better,
Hopefully.
right? So these guys will get better coaching. Hopefully this elite DC will bring in his own guys that are very good at their jobs. And so these young guys will get better coaching from them. So there is a glimmer of hope there. My issue just goes back again. Who are you? Who are you?
yeah. You said the guys, they took their bullets, all that stuff. But we also can't play the thing that Ty and Nash, they lost a lot of football games at Nebraska. They lost a lot. More than any player probably in school history. These guys were at Nebraska for 6 years. They lost more games than any player at Nebraska.
Right.
And they took their bullets and they got way better. So there is that. If that happens with some of these guys like Riley Van Poppel, Keanu Davis, all that stuff, wait and see, I guess, with them. But I agree. It comes down to you have to figure out who the hell you are. You got to have an identity. And that's why I hope whatever DC they hire is currently a DC somewhere or was a head coach somewhere, because then he can bring in guys that he's already been coaching. Like, I know Tony White did that with like Stephon Thompson or whatever, like last year or 2 years ago, and that didn't work out. But like, I want guys that are currently involved in college football, not Bo Pelini. I want guys that are currently coaching, that are used to this age of college football, this era of what's going on with college football. No, they know how to navigate recruiting. They know how to navigate the portal. They have guys on their staff that they trust already.
Navigate the Big Ten.
That too.
I'm sorry. If we get a DC that does not have any experience in the Big Ten whatsoever, I will automatically, yes,
Yeah.
I will not buy in. I won't. You guys, what's always the narrative? The Big Ten's different. Big Ten's different. Big Ten has the best coaching.
It means more, right? Oh, wait.
Oh God.
Wait.
We talk about it all the time, and it's always a talking point with like national people. Big Ten's different. If you've never been in this conference, you just don't really get it. And so if we get a DC that doesn't have any Big Ten experience,
They're right.
I'm gonna write it off.
They're correct, though. I died on this hill last year, and I was proven right. The Big Ten is the hardest conference in college football. It is. And if you can't, you can hack it in, if the Pac-12 was the Pac-2 now, you can hack it in the Big 12. You can hack it anywhere. The Big 10 is going to put you through the ringer week in and week out. If you don't, Mike, like you said, if you don't know the Big 10 already, you're not going to make it here.
The fact that Butler was fired after 1 year, if that doesn't automatically make you be like, yeah, you have never been in the Big 10 before.
Jonathan Smith just got fired, right? We said at the beginning of the year, Jonathan Smith, this isn't the fucking Pac-12. You're not going to work at Michigan State. I said it right before the season started. Guess what? He got fired and they hired Pat Fitzgerald, a guy that knows the Big 10. Was not very good in the Big 10. Sometimes he was okay in the Big 10, but he knows the Big 10.
But trust me, he understands the shitty side of the Big 10.
Yes.
And you know what? Pat Fitz is going to go in there, and Michigan State is going to be D'Antonio-esque.
I don't think so.
Not in terms of success,
Culture.
but in terms of knowing who you are.
I agree with
You're
that.
telling me you're not going to play a Patty Fitz team and go, here's what we're going to get. Here's what we're going to get. And guess what? He's probably going to be pretty damn good.
Is there really, like, aside from the new additions, the West Coast additions, like a traditional Big 10 team, is there really a team, maybe aside from Ohio State, that going into that game that you don't know exactly what they're going to do? Nobody really hides shit in this conference. It's all telegraphed. It is very much, here's what we're going to do. Try and stop it. Good luck. It's very, very open, and everyone is just excellent about what their identity is.
Except Wisconsin.
Yeah. Well,
No,
hey, they got 2 top 25 wins this season. So let's.
No, you know what Big Ten team doesn't know what you're going to get when you play them?
Nebraska.
Nope. Yeah.
Like, you're an opponent. You don't know what you're going to get, but that's actually an advantage for you because the team you're playing, Nebraska, doesn't know what they're going to get either.
Is that the allure of Nebraska? Is like every week we're just like, fuck it, this might work. Like maybe
It's a dartboard and they just.
And you wonder why our guys, when the lights are bright, they're like, what do I do? What's our thing? What type of offense are we running today? Who do we trust today?
Again,
What are we leaning on?
great teams are fluid. I mentioned Ohio State. When you play in Ohio State, you don't know like if they're going to run that ball or if they're going to throw, like Julian's saying, phenomenal quarterback. You don't know if they're going to throw for 300 yards or rush for 200.
Right.
They're a great team.
Sometimes both.
They can be that fluid because they're great in all phases of the game.
And they get a top 5 recruiting class every year. That
definitely
helps.
And we are not doing that.
KB, you got anything in the chat over there?
Okay, so there's some people pushing back on the like the young excuse. And I agree with you. I do. And people are comparing us to like Michigan had freshmen on the offensive line this year. Yep, I get that. Michigan also won a national championship 2 years ago, so it's not a hard sell to be like, hey, we want you, 5-star offensive linemen, to come play for Michigan.
100%.
Nebraska, who is now on their second consecutive year going to a bowl game. After 10 years of not going, is trying to get kids to come here and develop.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying it's like an excuse that we're all young, but I'm just saying if we were spinning our wheels with the youngest team in the Big Ten, and I don't feel like we regress to an absurd amount, like I'll take that.
Yeah, and Kyle, to your
now,
point,
those big wins are inexcusable. That I'm also saying that. Maybe I'm a little wishy-washy here, but I'm just saying, like, it'll never be acceptable to lose like that and ending the year like that and sitting in here on Sunday morning, Saturday morning.
Sad.
It sucks.
Kyle.
But if there's one positive note is like, you still went 7-5 with the youngest team in the Big Ten. You still went 7-5
because you had the easiest schedule in the Big Ten.
You still went 7-5.
I agree.
We've talked. Hey, don't get me started.
Hey, I got you. We went 3-9 with that schedule too.
Yeah.
So,
Kyle, let's say you're a recruit and you're looking to choose between a Michigan and a Nebraska, and Michigan can say, like you said, 2 years ago, national championship. It is the best rivalry game in the nation. Every single year. Prior to this year, I believe it was 6 straight wins for Michigan over Ohio State.
I think it was like 4-4.
Was it 4?
Yeah.
4. Oh, I'm sorry. But you're on this massive stage all the time. Recent national champion. And then you look at Nebraska, and what is one thing, at least for the last several years, that Nebraska has touted as their biggest recruiting strength?
Facilities.
You have facilities and fan base. And then you look at a record. And in the last 8 years, our best regular season record is 7 wins. Our worst is 3.
Our best win being over Cincinnati.
Yeah.
In Colorado last year.
It's
at
very
6-6.
it's very easy to say, well, yeah, Michigan had freshmen playing too. Yeah, well, Michigan got the better freshmen. They did, because it's a very prestigious university. It's a prestigious program, and they've had recent success. Of course, the better freshmen are going there. Why wouldn't they?
And let's be real here.
They have a culture and
have-
identity.
They have a culture identity, and they have a better coaching staff than ours. Much better.
Here's my question. Why do you think Iowa never gets a good quarterback?
Because they don't need one.
They don't, because their identity is not good quarterback play.
Right.
They embrace it.
Yeah.
They are in on the joke.
They
They'll defend Gronowski when he gets clowned, when he sucks against Albany. They still win the game. But like, they're in on the joke. They're like, yeah, whatever. Our quarterback fucking sucks. We'll still beat you.
Yeah.
We don't need a quarterback. They know who they are, man.
I was gonna say I'm tired of like Iowa, Wisconsin, 90% of the Big Ten teams. You talk about like, what do they produce? It's linemen.
Yep.
What does Nebraska produce?
Nothing.
Sadness.
A lot of that.
How about the occasional offensive lineman that at Nebraska is out of position?
Yeah.
And so they go to the NFL, and their O-line coach is like, what the fuck did they do to you up at Nebraska? You are not a tackle. You are a guard.
Or you're a center.
You're a center.
Or you're
yeah.
a center. And, Juergens was a center here too. But, like, that's the most notable thing is, like, yeah, we have the occasional D lineman. We got Malik.
He's been hanging.
We got Levante. We'll claim Levante David, even though he was a JUCO, and we'll claim him.
Hey,
Are you kidding me? We're going to claim him all day.
Can I jump back like 14 years and say Sue?
And Dominican Sue is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but like, why?
All these Bo guys, we can claim the shit out of them. But
Why can we look at so many Big Ten universities and say, oh, yeah, their lines are just absurd. Like, they're always phenomenal. And we look at Nebraska, and when, like, sure, you can talk about Ty and Nash, but when was the last time that we've looked at a complete unit and said that line was spectacular?
Long time.
been a while.
09 defensive line?
It's been a while.
Like,
You can
why?
say that about. Sorry.
Nice.
Wow.
You can say that about both lines.
You could say that about most position groups. I mean, maybe not both position groups. Sorry, all position groups. Aside, like this year, obviously EJ was spectacular.
Our DBs were pretty good this year.
Yeah,
I
but
think they were
again,
pretty good.
we talked about, like, again, USC, that game to me did prove that the DB group was like the real deal.
Sure.
But it's just very rare that you look at a position group for Nebraska and say that's the real deal. And when was the last time we've done that for a sustained period, which I would call 3 years in a row?
I mean, it has to be in the Bo era sometime.
Yeah. Has to be in the Bo era.
Has to.
It's been far too long.
Hey, so we kind of talked about Iowa's O-line a few days ago, how they're a bunch of Nordic Vikings with funny names that take our women, right?
Yeah.
Are any of those guys from the portal? Did they get any of those guys from the portal?
I'm
I'm asking,
I
like,
have no
legitimately
idea.
not knowing.
I have no idea.
No, I have no idea.
And
That's a question for somebody in the
Okay,
chat.
let me ask you this. Do you think any of those guys are from the portal?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I would say no.
And so I'm just saying, like, yes, we need an overhaul of O-line. We need an overhaul of the D-line. I don't care what anybody says. Young talent. Stop. It's not a way to do things. It sucks. It sucks that we have to resort to that because it seems like there are younger O-linemen that aren't coming along maybe as well as we have liked them to. So I hate that we have to resort to
Okay, here you go. You want to see it?
paying for these linemen when, damn it, on paper, you should be developing them and building them from within.
Here you go. Previous school. So they're starting left tackle. He's from Ron Colley High School in Indianapolis, Indiana.
God's country.
This guy's from Wisconsin, and he's from that high school. That guy's from Blue Springs, Missouri, and he's from that high school. This guy's from Brownsburg, Indiana. He's from that high school. This guy's from Council Bluffs, Iowa. He's from Lewis Central in Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Are you talking three? You're talking about three linemen that are from the same high school?
No, I'm talking first string and second string. All developed not from the portal.
Right.
Yeah.
This guy's from Nebraska, Norfolk, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Look at that. They're starting right guard. Who that story is different. I don't know if you've ever heard that story. He was recruited by Nebraska and Iowa to play defensive line, and they moved him to offensive line when he got to Iowa. And he made up some fake story this week and talked.
What's the guy's name from Council Bluffs?
The kid's name from Council Bluffs.
Logan.
You already got it?
Is it Logan Jones?
Yeah, Logan Jones.
Yeah. Well, because I saw the video going around. So
yeah. Jennings Dunker and Cannon Leonard. All of them. Everybody from the two deep Iowa offensive linemen were all developed at the University of Iowa.
I'll tell you what.
Not from the portal.
Right.
Any of you guys, when we all have cars. I
have a spaceship.
Yeah. Do you guys own or lease?
I own.
You own, yeah.
Please.
So when you got that car, as you bought it, you've developed equity over time by owning it. What Nebraska is doing right now, where we're at, what we have to do is we're leasing players through the portal. They're 1-year rentals.
Yep.
We get very short-term benefit, but we're getting no long-term benefit by, like, we could be owning this thing and developing. And I thought this was something that Matt Rhule was really good about. I thought we were buying cars here. I thought we were developing. I thought we were developing equity through that process.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like that's not happening. I think EJ is a different story, but our best player, aside from EJ this year, I would talk about Dan Key.
Or we wouldn't say he's the best player or anything. Isaiah Hunter transfer.
Isaiah Hunter, but
Sierra Wright.
But these are all leases.
Yeah,
these are all leases.
That's new era college football, though.
You know what? You know how Kirk Ferentz has been able to do it. How he's been able to create a farm of players that he can just get to stick there and just develop and develop and develop. You know how he's done it?
How's that?
Because he's been there for 65 years. That's why.
Shit.
Nebraska's been through 17 head coaches in the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is why that stuff keeps happening.
100%.
It's because we just keep turning over coaches. Kirk Ferentz has only been able to do that because he's a family name around these high schools. You just mentioned it. All of them from this high school. You want to get to the NFL, you go to Kirk Ferentz. He's going to get you there. And guess what? He's going to be there 10 years from now. And he's just going to keep churning out linemen to the NFL. That is how you do it. The turnover is what has killed Nebraska and put us behind the ball.
Hey,
So there's been criticism recently.
but I'm also glad that we fired John Butler. So,
yes. But
hey,
there's been
pro turnover.
There's been criticism recently, like in the last couple of days, about like, oh, we extend Matt Rhule. We get 7 wins in the regular season when realistically, I think 8 should have been there. I did predict 9-3 at the beginning of the season. But Kyle, you say that longevity of a head coach can help you build that. I've seen a lot of people pissed that we extended Matt Rhule, but I agree with you. Like, if you're going to expect like, oh, I'm going to commit to Nebraska and in 4 years we're going to have a new head coach, why the hell would anyone want to stay here and develop?
You guys.
Here we go.
You guys.
Here we go. Oh, I knew.
Do you know why Nebraska keeps on having coaching turnover within the past 20-ish years? Do you know why?
The fan base.
No,
Because they suck.
because you keep trying to do shit that doesn't work here. You keep trying to force square peg into a round hole because the offense you try to run doesn't work here. And what Kirk Ferentz does, you can make fun, but the dude churns out 8-win seasons with recruiting classes that finish below Nebraska every year. Okay?
Yeah. He develops.
We keep trying to do things at Nebraska that don't work. We keep trying to do Dana Holgorsen, which more than likely won't work. We try to do Bill Callahan, doesn't work.
Hey, we tried that former head coach Scott Bleep guy. There he is.
Doesn't fucking work. What did work, and we took it for granted, was Bo Pelini. Had a lot of good running backs, had some solid lines, got blown out twice a year. You could always bet on it. But we keep trying to do things here that doesn't work.
Right, but
yeah,
well,
argue that.
No,
please.
no, I'm not saying that, but like
I'll give you 20 years. Here you go. You can try to.
What was Bo's identity on offense? Because we had numerous OCs under Bo. We ran a spread offense, which is not what you want. We do. That's not Iowa, and that's not what you think would work at Nebraska.
Okay.
We ran zone read option stuff, the stuff that Ohio State runs. Like pretty much, if you look at Ohio State's offense, that's what we ran with Bo Pelini. But we were a developmental program with Bo Pelini. Sure. That's the difference. We aren't developing guys. Like there's linemen that we got, from recruiting them. They're not ready to play yet. They're not ready. They weren't even in the 2 deep. We have Tyler Knock playing. He's back up in like 3 different positions.
Why do you think Bo Pelini is sitting on his couch right now?
Because
it's changed.
It's changed.
Yeah.
That's why he's not. All the fans are like, bring Bo back to be the DC.
Well, no.
Go look at 2020 LSU. They were fucking terrible. They were fucking terrible. There's a reason he got fired after 1 year. Because college football has continued to move and change, and he has not. So I don't know. I know what you're saying. Identity, like pro style, like running the ball, doing all that stuff would work at Nebraska. But Bo didn't really do that.
Ran the ball a lot.
He ran the ball a lot, but he had Taylor Martinez. That was a running back playing quarterback. But he had good receivers
Nebraska
too.
Football Hall of Famer, mind you.
Right, yeah. But I'm just saying,
Rex Burkhead, Roy Haleu.
Yes,
Amir. Yeah.
But we had good.
Why can't we do that?
Because we don't have good enough coaches to develop guys.
That's part of the problem.
And Donnie Raiola is the next guy to fall. I'm sure. By the time this thing gets posted, Donnie Raiola is going to be fired at Nebraska. So I'm just telling you, that's why. That's why it hasn't worked at Nebraska yet with Matt Rhule, because our O-linemen aren't good enough yet. It's because Donnie Raiola has been here.
Can I ask a hard question?
Sure.
And one that I'm not excited to ask, because in my opinion, I know the answer. Is Nebraska a stepping stone program now? Are we a stepping stone program for players to come here, develop for a year, maybe 2, and then go to greener pastures and go maybe to a playoff?
I don't think anything has changed from last year to this year because we stayed neutral.
I think last year we were a stepping stone program.
That's
right
heavy
now,
brewing and pizza, baby.
Right now, we have rumors swirling, like obviously nothing confirmed, but we have rumors swirling about Dylan.
Right.
EJ should go to the league. That's just go. But we also have Ja'Cory Barney that people are talking about. Like, are we a stepping stone program now?
I'm glad you asked, because I have resigned myself. I have accepted the fact that if Dylan were to leave, he would go to a program that has elite talent around him, and he can do a glorified 7-on-7, and it's probably going to be warm outside, right? All the elements, all of the factors will be favorable to him, and he might thrive. So your question about us being a stepping stone, my response to you would be, in terms of Dylan, at least, is Dylan and Nebraska were just never a fit.
Right. I think it's like Scott Frost. It had to happen, but it didn't work.
You had to give it a shot.
You had to give it a shot. You had no choice.
5-star Raiola last name. I mean, you had to see what would happen.
And he still might be our quarterback next year.
I still want Dylan back here next year.
Sure.
I do.
Fine.
But again, with rumors, that's all they are. What about Latif? I made this comment, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago about, like, I do believe Latif will be a starter next year. He just won't be wearing an N on his helmet. Latif now posted, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you saw the story. Yeah. And Ja'Cory Barney, same thing, moving on. Like,
whatever.
These are,
I don't care.
These are good players, and they're seeking greener pastures.
God.
Are we becoming a stepping stone program?
No, I want all our receivers to leave. I don't care. I don't care. What about Ja'Cory? Ja'Cory didn't do anything this year. He didn't do anything.
It was
not his fault necessarily, but like your OC doesn't fit with Nebraska, and Ja'Cory Barney might need to go somewhere else to get more touches.
Like Wandale. He's going to go somewhere else. He's going to thrive.
Hey, let's keep spending millions. Let's keep spending millions on Dane Key so he can drop a pass, a perfect pass from Latif. Let's spend millions on wide receivers. Let's keep doing that. Meanwhile, fucking Joran Vandersloot from Iowa can make a one-handed grab in the fourth quarter and make a play.
With good coverage, by the way.
How much do you think Joran Vandersloot from Iowa is getting paid compared to Dane Key? Keep doing this, guys. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. You're going to be sitting here fucking disappointed. It doesn't work here. Big picture. You want to get big picture?
Well, big picture is
let's talk another hour
Yeah.
so I can fucking run down my wish list of things I wish could happen.
Before we close up, we got a couple super chats.
Hey,
Halprin.
Sorry, we kind of got this has been a good one.
honestly, it's
This
been a good episode.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have the whole offseason to continue to do this, guys.
Yeah, people are blowing up right now. Okay. So Schilt Eric, maybe. Drops $5. We appreciate you.
Shout out.
He says, I knew JB was the wrong person for the job when Minnesota lined up in the Wildcat and we dropped everyone back for coverage instead of loading the box.
Yeah, no shit.
Generally, the running back doesn't have a good arm.
Yeah, good. No shit. That's a good take.
Yeah.
Well, and Kyle, you alluded to that 3-man front versus Iowa, like on the goal line.
Yeah.
And it's like, even if you don't know, like, oh my God, you know what? I'm sure there's former players out there that are commentators that are like, you don't know what you're talking about. They were actually running a it was a 3-man front versus Iowa on the goal line. And guess what? Iowa ended up scoring. So you can do all your
My
you're a stupid fan. You're a stupid fan. You don't know anything about ball. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. 40-16. And we fired our defensive coordinator. So who actually doesn't know anything?
Yeah, my tiny little pea brain looked at that and I was like, that's wrong.
That's not going to work.
That doesn't look right.
Let's see how this plays out. Who else we got there?
And guess what? Matt Rhule also looked at that and probably was like, what the fuck is John doing?
Yeah. So Adam Halperin, who is a regular of the show. Appreciate you, big dog.
Love you.
He says, in order to get top tier talent, we need to be able to develop our mid tier talent. We haven't been able to develop our mid tier talent in forever.
Yeah,
Agreed.
since Bo Pelini.
Agreed.
Mid-tier talent. Yeah, again, because you're going to have guys leave and you need to replace them.
Yep.
And you need to churn out guys that are able to play at this level and not lose 40-16 and 37-10 and 24-6. Mike, you are going crazy over here, bro. You good? Let's put the microphone down here. Jesus.
We're good.
Do we have any other super chats?
Nope, that's it for now.
Any read worthy chats in there before we wrap up?
Ones that disagree. I want all the smoke. We can't run the option. Shut up.
And while you're reading those, make sure if you guys have not done so already, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube. We are trying to grow that thing out. Mash the like button.
Oh, this is a good one. And I've got a quick take on this.
Okay.
Dustin Casey says, also, how do we have the most injuries? ? Always. I can tell you. I asked my cousin-in-law kind of asked me, he's like, what do you think about the Iowa game on Friday? Right. And I said, let me ask you a question. This dude weighs more than I do. And he says, I said, how about we line up here in the living room in an Oklahoma drill? Who do you think's going to win? And he goes, probably me. I go, yeah, probably you. So the reason you've got more injuries is because every other team has got a bunch of dogs on it and they're just eating you alive. That's how you get injured. That's how your whole team gets injured, is when they're getting their asses kicked all day. That's how.
Hey, Kyle, that also opens up a discussion about our strength coach.
He looks big and strong.
Okay. So here's my thing though, is like, I don't understand enough and what the program, like, I don't understand any of that. So for me as a fan to be like, the strength and conditioning coach needs to go, what the fuck do I know?
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
He could be killing it and we would have no idea.
Right.
I got a question from an Iowa fan that I actually ended up watching the game with. And when we were looking at the availability report that you sent us, Kyle, his question was like, what the hell is your training staff doing? I was like, I couldn't tell you anything. I have no idea, first of all, what goes into that, let alone what's going on inside those.
We're going to have to
rooms.
bring somebody in from health science.
I've tried. I have tried.
Yeah. We got to bring one on.
So, Kyle, you're absolutely right. We don't know the ins and outs, the minutia.
Yeah.
Okay. But again, it's okay to watch these games and be like, that doesn't look right. Again, when Penn State picks you up by the collar and moves you You are going here. Thank you. It's okay to be like, is that how that's supposed to be?
And then they struggle against Rutgers.
Right. And, and we can go back to the reputation of Nebraska and how we're supposed to be Husker power. Husker power. We still chant that in the stadium. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Unironically. We're serious about it.
It's more of a prayer now.
So yeah,
I think
okay.
it's more of a chant.
So BA says our strength coach is regarded by some in the business I talk to, in the biz we call it, as one of the better ones in the country. Cool. Just throwing that out there for what it is worth. A Big 12 coach told me that to my face. Campbell is amazing. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
and that was my point to asking my cousin-in-law, like, hey, you're just bigger than I am. So like, if we lined up right now, if I'm a freshman and you're a senior at Iowa who's been developed for 5 years, who's going to win that battle?
Probably the bigger guy.
10 out of 10 times the bigger guy, the stronger guy, the more developed guy, the more skilled guy. You can go down the list. Is probably going to win that battle. So you start looking at like the injuries and stuff. And if we're going back to this excuse, and there's a guy in here that is just
let's go
every 5 minutes.
Who's he
he's
talking
just talking about excuses.
Well, okay.
I'm not here to drop an excuse. I'm just letting you know
there are no excuses.
That like if you're going up against Iowa's 5th year tackle and he's running full speed at you and it's his freshman,
good luck,
Rex Guthrie.
Yeah,
like you're going to get trampled over, and that's how injuries happen. If you get your ass kicked in a football game, you're probably going to get injured.
Do you want to hear something funny, Kyle? So they have
Jesus, Mike.
from their O-line, they had their left tackle is a sophomore, their left guard was a senior, their center was a graduate, their right guard was a sophomore, right tackle was a senior. Couple sophomores, couple seniors. So,
you said Rex Guthrie, and I'm sitting here thinking of RVP, a guy who redshirted.
Yeah, so it's his 3rd year in the program,
and it's like it didn't make any difference at all.
No. What was he doing on that redshirt year?
I don't know what that was.
Eating, drinking. I don't know what he was doing.
He was doing what I was doing.
Nothing.
Fucking Popeyes and Dairy Queen.
Who eats Dairy Queen?
I honestly don't eat Dairy Queen.
Okay.
I was just saying that.
How
about this? Sonic.
We've gone over time.
Yeah, we have definitely gone over time.
And just so this guy gets his time on air.
Yes.
Keith McGrath. Keith McGrath.
I like that name.
Says he just keeps saying I like excuses. Bring in better talent. Yeah, you're right. So we went over this week. So next week we're gonna go live, and we're just gonna say we like excuses, and then we're gonna sign off. Yeah. How's that sound? Because what else are we supposed to talk about?
Right.
We made no excuses.
No, I'm not making excuses. We literally told you that they're not good enough.
They're not good.
Yeah.
Right.
Coaches.
So that's the opposite of an excuse. I'm telling you exactly what is the problem. They're not good enough.
Coaches, players, maybe strength conditioning, not good enough.
It's not good enough. They went 7-5.
Yeah.
It's not an excuse. They're not good enough.
There's a reason why Matt Rhule fired him after 1 year.
Because he was not good enough.
Even Matt Rhule, a guy that I am skeptical over, said, not good enough, John Butler. Yeah,
bye.
Yeah, gone. R.I.P.
Yeah, gone.
R.I.P.
Okay.
Rest in peace, John Butler.
Before we sign off, there's this nice little decal behind me for Sinovation. I don't know if you guys know this. We're recording from the Sinovation studios here in Omaha, Nebraska. At Sinovation Omaha, your image is their business. From eye-catching indoor and outdoor signs to clear professional wayfinding solutions, they're going to help your brand a way to stand out where it matters the most. They're going to transform your walls with stunning wraps, turn vehicles into rolling billboards with custom decals, and add privacy or style with vinyl window graphics. When you partner with Sinovation Omaha, you're not just going to get signage. You're going to add curb appeal and create a lasting first impression for your customers. Again, when you look at me, when you look at Mike and Jared, even when you look back around this whole studio, this is all done by Sinovation. It's beautiful. And it was all done right here in Omaha, Nebraska. Check them out. Give them a call. They do a fantastic job.
So
oh no,
Connor's battery died on the camera. So Mike, we were watching that whole thing.
No. So you couldn't see the cool graphic behind me, but it does look cool. It is the Sinovation logo. But yeah, you could see the stuff behind Mike and Jared there. It is beautiful, and it was all done right here in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay, before we sign off, real quick, I need your Timmer ratings. No explanation. Give me your decibel points
Okay.
And then we will sign off and we'll talk about it on Monday.
Who do we start
Don't
with?
start
Kyle,
with
do we
me.
start with you?
Don't start with me.
Kyle, I'll start with you.
I'm at an even 5.
I think, if I recall correctly, I think the last one was like a 5.8, I want to say. And that was before the season, right? And so after this past season just went by, I think I went down. I'll just say a 5. No, lower than that. Damn. After firing Butler, I'm probably at a 3.8.
Okay.
Ooh.
Depending on who he hires as the DC.
No, we're talking right now.
But right now, I am at a 4.8.
Jared, you mentioned we don't have a DC right now. That adds some uncertainty. I'm going to say 5.2.
And I want to be clear, my score went up now that we don't have a DC.
Yeah.
I was at a 3. Now I'm at a 3.8.
Yeah, mine went down.
Yeah, mine,
Because again,
mine
we've
went
seen
up.
the track record of his hiring coordinators.
I think I was at like a 6.
Well, 'cause
I was like a 6.8
Well, I
before
think-
the season.
Well, I figured if we kept John Butler on staff, my Timmer rating would be low at like a 3.
Oh, mine would have gone down too. Like no matter what, it was going down.
Yeah. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Like now that we don't, like I would rather not have a DC. No. That's a
It would have gone lower if Butler was still on the staff.
Depends
but
who they
it
hire.
still went down.
If they hire, I'm right there, right before you get to 5.
Yeah.
But right now we're on the other side.
You guys, I swear to you, I tried to explain the rules as best as I could. I just said, give me the decimal point and we'll move on. You know what, you guys? I'm in the same boat. It would have been lower. Like it raised today.
Oh, yes.
Hard. When John Butler
Oh.
got fired, hard. It changed. It did bring me up just a little bit. Anywho.
Yeah.
Jared, you want to sign us off?
NBNR Podcast. NBNRpodcast.com. YouTube, hit the subscribe, hit the like, give us a 5-star on Spotify, Apple. The usuals, the old time social medias. We are on that. We are on Facebook. Love Facebook. Love Facebook. All the bots, all the AI, all the old people asking, is Kevin Cosgrove's back? What?
You guys are unprofessional for cursing.
Yeah.
You see, that was a good comment.
Keep it clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck
I said,
off.
fuck that. Twitter, give us a follow. We kind of have a little bump.
TikTok.
Yeah, a little TikTok.
TikTok.
I am one of your hosts, Jared Hall.
Mike Dillard.
Connor Cavalack.
Kyle Byers.
As always, hire Jim Leonard
Please.
Please.
and GBR.